Hello, this is a follow-up video from my original one on creating sand textures, where those of you who've seen the video will know that at the end the Vallejo stuff, which was the Vallejo ground texture, still hadn't quite dried, although I did put a little end note that it looked great when it did dry, but I never showed people what it looked like. So I thought I'd revisit it. Thanks to Mega Hamster for his useful comment. I think you're quite right. I should have gone back and I should have shown people what it looked like when it was dried. So this is me doing that, hopefully very quickly. So because it's an opportunity just to show something else at the same time as well. This I don't think existed at the time. It's Polycell Advanced Polyfiller. It's like a very light sort of foam putty really, and I've been using that a little bit on models, and so I thought I'd show what that looks like at the same time. Just an extra piece of information really, I suppose. So here's the Vallejo stuff when it dries. As you can see, it does give really nice texture. It's still ever so slightly spongy, even though it's definitely sort of dried properly, and it's quite light, but yeah, it gives a very nice texture. The Polycell stuff, which sort of spoons on quite thickly, that dries really quickly, sort of 5 minutes, and it's definitely dry. Quite hard to get smooth. You can smooth it, especially if you use like a wet palette knife and stuff. But when it is dry, you can sort of sand it down a little bit, and it sands really nicely as well, and gives you sort of different sorts of texture. You can sand it quite sort of smooth. You can see there that that's sanded away quite nicely, and it paints well as well, and it's really light. It is just, when it's finished drying, it is just like sort of a sort of slightly dense foam really, probably got the same density as styrofoam. So yeah, that's good stuff, and I used that on the last Ruin Abbey. I used that to build up some of the terrain. So anyway, but the main thing is the Vallejo texture, which, as you can see, has dried. Does look great. I can't compare it exactly to the things that I did all over a year ago, because they've long since disappeared. But yeah, Vallejo ground texture, very nice, and Polycell Advanced Polyfiller is also a decent alternative. So Mega Hamster, that one is pretty much specifically for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, cheers, bye.